The race card, a card typically pulled by individuals who can't handle any form of objectively justified criticism coming their way. Some people use it eloquently. Others, like me, use it in somewhat of a comedic fashion. That way, anybody who dares question me can realize that I will always have a little bit of white privilege in me. But the rules of the race card tend to work like this. You can only use it statistically 90% of the time, and you will have a 90% acceptance rate to where people will believe in you if you pull that at the right time, at the right moment. The problem is you got people who don't use it at the right time. Like, for example, Disney supervillain mayor Tiffany Henyard. She pulled it a couple months ago and it didn't work.
Be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work.
So you would think she would go back to the drawing board and realize that I can't really fight back all this justified criticism of misuse of funds and going on vacations using taxpayer dollars and not letting the people come into the town hall meeting. I can't really use the race card here. Maybe, just maybe, if I go back to the drawing board, I could use it somewhere else. I know, in the middle of all these people on your ass for a sexual assault allegation that you either participated in or tried to cover up by firing the person that came to you saying that this was a fucking problem.
We're here to help each other, not hurt each other. And it's a shame that us, I'm talking to my black and brown communities, will sit here and fight.
Better known for his work as a crisis responder helping victims of gun violence, Andrew Holmes has also served for several years as a trustee in the village of Dalton. Holmes is now named in a civil lawsuit filed Monday by a Dalton police officer and former member of Mayor Tiffany Henyard's security detail, as well as a former village employee who believes she was sexually assaulted by Holmes. We are withholding her identity because of the nature of the allegations, which are now, according to 4 Dalton trustees, part of what former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot will take on in her new job as special investigator into Mayor Henyard's tenure.
She will be looking at it in a civil manner to give the board an idea. This is not a criminal matter that she's looking at it from that perspective.
The complaint says the alleged incident took place during a trip to Las Vegas in May of last year that included Henyard along with various employees from the village and Thornton Township. It was during the last evening of that trip that the complaint alleges police officer Byron Miles received a phone call from Holmes, who began describing a host of his exploits from the trip, many of a sexual nature. And there was some suggestion that she may not have had the ability to consent and or did not provide consent. It is at this point that, according to the complaint, Officer Miles began to record the call, which eventually switched over to FaceTime. Trustee Holmes then panned the camera toward a bed where Officer Miles could see a woman who was partially undressed. The complaint goes on to say that the following day, when the woman in question woke up, she found she was in Trustee Holmes' hotel room, fully dressed. She was embarrassed as she believed she had blacked out. However, it was not, according to the complaint, until their return to Dalton that Officer Miles, suspecting that the alleged victim was not aware of what had transpired, went to her with what he knew. The lawsuit alleges that at a later meeting with the mayor, Henyard stated if that information got out, Henyard would be ruined and all of the work she had done would be lost. According to the lawsuit, within weeks, the alleged victim was out of a job and Officer Miles removed from the mayor's security detail. The lawsuit asserts claims against Henyard for retaliation. While our calls to Andrew Holmes have gone unanswered today, a spokesperson for Tiffany Henyard said they are cooperating, but would not comment on an ongoing investigation. They did, however, point us to a statement issued a few weeks ago before Holmes was specifically named, saying that the village of Dalton previously conducted their own investigation into the matter. Former police officer Miles was interviewed and denied knowing anything about these allegations. Also, despite numerous attempts by the village's independent investigators to contact the employee, she refused to give a statement or cooperate with our investigation. Unfortunately, this is nothing more than two disgruntled village employees who are trying to make off with the taxpayers' hard-earned dollars. No criminal charges have been filed against Andrew Holmes, but Las Vegas police do confirm that they have an open investigation into the claims.
I don't understand how somebody could be so confident. And the more and more that I see this develop, the more I have to eat crow, because I made that video about all them women getting punched in the face and somebody commented talking about something, this is what they voted for. And I criticized that, but I'm starting to realize I might be wrong about that. Because if people were this fucking dumb to believe in somebody who clearly isn't qualified for the job and they voted for that, then fuck, I gotta eat crow on that one and realize that motherfuckers voted for some dumb shit. You are the worst mayor I have ever seen. And it is hilarious to watch your downfall. And it is sad that there are so many people who probably genuinely believed in you, turning on you every single second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month that this continues to go on. Just give it up. Resign. You sitting there saying, I can't believe you people, and I'm specifically talking about the black people, are doing this. No, just stop that. Stop trying to think that race card is going to save your ass. It's not. Don't pull the woman card either, because my black women, the most disrespected group in American history. Don't pull this bullshit all the time. Just resign, face the consequences of whatever is going on, and move it along. Because honestly, I checked out on you and gave you any sort of credibility once I find out you hired a former sex offender to start knocking on people's doors and checking in on them. That should have been the thing that got you kicked out, period. But I guess we gonna wait for another episode of A Dumbass Mayor and the Dumbass Antics. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.